This forecast is a quick snapshot of the current state of your union. So it reflects where you are, where your partner is, and of course the Two of Cups is the significator. Now, you have the Knight of Cups and finance reversed. Now, the Knight of Cups may represent you. This is water energy, or it could be another water sign that has an influence over you. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and it may be their sun, their moon, or their rising sign. Now, this Knight is very idealistic, very romantic, and so this could be a period where you're very focused on some kind of offer, given or received, invitation, proposal, some form of entertainment or amusement. This Knight is very charming, very seductive. That may be the goal of yours, or you may be seduced by something. This is also someone very creative. You may be very creative or intuitive, but may sometimes lack practicality. Now, there is an issue here concerning finances. It's in the reverse. So either you may be using money to gain power in your relationship, or you see your partner as that. Maybe there's some reckless spending, some irresponsibility. Could be power struggles over money. Perhaps one of you is perceived as a gold digger or opportunist. Maybe, there's marrying for money, or there are issues in the relationship that have to do with excessive debt or child support or alimony. Maybe someone is a gambler, or there's been a loss of work, or, one of you is unemployed. Or perhaps there's the need to even file for bankruptcy. So some problematic issue surrounding finances is affecting your relationship. Now, this is a Knight who may be very vague or misleading. And one of you could be misleading the other about your finances. Maybe you feel misled that someone is not telling you everything about the financial situation. Or perhaps you are being purposely vague because you have this perception that your partner is not being, their intentions are not well placed. Or, you may be the one who is hiding something. This is a person who tends to breadcrumb. They're only going to share what they think will serve the agenda. Maybe you're playing your cards close to your chest concerning money. Maybe it's because you have some concerns about sharing that with a partner. You have concerns about your partner's financial condition or their relationship to money. Now, your partner has the World card and serendipity. So your partner may be of foreign descent, or may be involved in world affairs, maybe travel, but there's some fortunate circumstance surrounding your partner where your partner, regardless of you trying to keep things concealed or hidden, your partner may very likely get their wish fulfilled, whatever that may be, because there's some kind of fortuitous stroke of luck. Now, maybe this is an internet relationship, and maybe that's why you have questions. Maybe it's a long-distance relationship, or maybe your partner is planning some kind of travel, and you have some concerns about the financial aspect of it, although your partner is viewing this as something very lucky, very fortunate. Now, your partner may be creating some kind of boundary to protect themselves, or there could be a look at limitation. What is actually possible and what is beyond this person's means. It could also mean that your partner, if there was some kind of breach or trust, may be looking for forgiveness, or may be forgiving you. This is about a second chance and closing out some kind of cycle. So your partner may be working to close out some issues. This is the last major card. So your partner has gone through a lot of lessons, experiences to get to a particular point. And your partner is looking for the best possible outcome, perhaps the best possible environment. And so there's an assessment here of what has gone before. So your partner may be looking at certain issues connected to you, and perhaps finances, how it's played out in the relationship, your role. Maybe this is about some kind of agreement, an understanding. So there's an assessment here where your partner is taking into consideration things that have gone before. Now, perhaps, there's been some stagnancy, a failure to make necessary changes or do what's important, or move in another direction, or maybe your partner gets excited about doing something and then tends to fall back into a rut or an old habit. But there is some luck, some serendipity involved here, maybe some kind of unexpected opportunity that connects to the world at large or a distant location. Now, the romance is characterized by Taurus. So you may be involved with a Taurus person. You may have that strongly in your chart. Or the characteristics of Taurus are important to this relationship. Now, Taurus is a sign that is fixed. They don't really like change very much. And so this is a partnership that may be very comfortable with the status quo. They don't want to rock the boat, and they like to keep peace, but if confronted, all hell can break loose. But normally, Taurus wants things to be peaceful, docile, comfortable. There may be a strong concern for luxury, for comfort, or a focus on possessions or acquisition or resources of some sort. So there's a focus on income, personal possessions, even personal debt, and the ability to pay that. So that may tie into finances. Taurus is a very thorough, very determined, persevering sign. And so there may be some kind of goal where Taurus is steadily plodding away, working toward a dream, or to make sure that they're comfortable or that they acquire what they wish. That may be a focus in this relationship. Now you have King of Wands and Seven of Pentacles. King of Wands, this is fire energy. I don't know if you're involved with someone with fire or you have that. This could be Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, their sun, their moon, or their rising. This is a king who is very determined himself. He's very passionate and he knows how to go after what he wants. There's a tendency, though, for the relationship to be on his terms. One of you may have a desire to take charge of a situation or to be in charge. This is a king who is a leader. He may be entrepreneurial or have a very ambitious spirit or very focused on his desires. He appears to have turned away from partnership, though. And he may be thinking of himself or what he wants or his own desires, or he may be, his focus may be elsewhere. And the other of you may be doing this assessment of this relationship. So there could be a situation where you feel that someone wants the relationship on their terms, and if not, they're going to look elsewhere. They're going to do it their way. This is someone who easily attracts people to them like bees to honey. And so, he may be faithful. That's his choice. But he may also choose to be unfaithful. So he looks as if he's turned away from an agreement, a contract, a partnership of some sort. And you could be playing that role, or your partner, and there's an assessment. Somebody is looking at their investment. Now, it could be that somebody feels that they have put in, and they've reached their limit, and they're not getting what they put in, and so they've decided to turn the other way. They no longer feel that the investment will yield something viable or that they want. They don't see any results. Or it may feel that, this relationship has come full circle, it's reached a completion, and there's no more investment to be had. Or this person may feel that, the investment should be elsewhere. So, there's an issue here about taking charge of a situation and, looking at something more closely to see what the payoff is or to figure out the intention behind the payoff. And you have 9 of Pentacles and distance. Now, for some of you, this could be a long distance relationship. It could be that there's a mistress at a distance, or you're playing that role, or there's distance in the relationship, whether physical or emotional. Maybe somebody is satisfied with their own company, and that creates the distance. Others of you, maybe you're looking at a property that's at a distance, or in the distance having a particular kind of lifestyle where you can kind of pursue the interests that you want. You can live in a leisure manner, you have enough money, and maybe that's because you're waiting for something to take off, for liftoff, to leave, or for an endeavor to grow. Now, in other situations, there are false accusations here, some unkind rumor that may have to do with situations centering on money. What is the intention here? Is someone being exploited, someone being used, or someone wanting only for their personal gain? And if that's the case, if that's coming from your partner or even outside, it's best not to respond. This can be the card of just getting on with the business of living and ignoring, that interruption, that chatter, in favor of your own pursuits, being comfortable in your own skin and with who you are. For some of you, perhaps this has to do with ideals or an idealistic relationship. Perhaps someone has turned away from the partnership in favor of what they consider to be the ideal. This may be someone full of grace, culture, attractive, intelligent, and that's the focus. It may be that there's some inaccessibility here. There's an ideal, a person that, seems untouchable. So either you may be trying to connect to somebody and not quite being able to make that link, or maybe it's vice versa. So there's an assessment of taking charge of a partnership where perhaps one of you is focused on something else, and you're tying up, closing out a particular cycle. And there's an agreement involved where maybe there's some dishonesty or everything hasn't been disclosed, and it affects you in the relationship on a personal level as far as security, whether that's financial or emotional.